What's going on, guys? Time for another exciting YouTube recap, as we love to do. We start off here on the X this morning. Not a whole lot of calls. We had CPI, obviously, so we didn't go over too much, but our members were killing it. We did some Discord calls, like always. We can check those out. Did a 1 minute gap here on EQ and ES, and it would love test of the 1 minute 666. Show my position sizing here in the green, target on the algos. Explained the entire trade right here. Gap algo shift change, gap algo switch, and target 666 bonus move down this morning. So we had a beautiful 20+ pointer call here just for that scalp down. Made a great little one and done on the Apex accounts, or I'm sorry, Top Step accounts here, and smashed it out of the park. And that was about it for those. We had some other beautiful scalps here, as we posted in the Discord here. All really greens on the Top Step, but a very nasty runner this morning, right? So let's get into the fun. So here on the Qs, we had double algoing here. Try that one more time. All right, there we go. Bam. What does that look like? Well, as we came into today, we made a algo and we got CPI. So here is the algo at 7 a.m. Here is the CPI at 7:30. And what did we do with this nonsense, huh? Well, what I first did is I assumed short all in the morning here in the macro, okay? So what I fibbed out the algo like so, and I played the Qs. There's a live trade video, check the channel, of me playing this exact play on ES. So I did post that video. I'll link it in the description if you want to see me live trade this one. So QQQ held the fib algo box, slammed up on CPI, ran into our 1618 Fibonacci. And generally speaking, once Fibonacci hits, it comes back down to the 100 fib. The 100 fib then becomes an over-under for price direction. And as we broke through, we back tested. You see the candle here, wick back into 513.29. This is confirmation of weakness, right? So we jetted all the way down from the 1618, broke into VWAP, popped, confirmed weakness, and walked herself back down. So that was actually trade plan number one. So we seen after CPI, a beautiful move to the downside. And after that upside fib was completed, what I like to do is I fib out both of these bad boys. And let's talk about the CPI candle. Now, this was short reason number two. Now, the fib algo gave us the exact top 1618. But what else is unique about this is the CPI candle carries its own algorithmic fib box, right? And this one, we don't have an extension to worry about or anything like that to the top side, but one thing you'll always hear me say about Fibonacci, price action hates when it does not fill golden pocket right away. So if you look real close here, the fib box on the CPI candles, second candles right here, third candle, this is CPI's candle, right? So 7:30 a.m., 7:35, 7:40. Notice that these two candles after the CPI candle right here never retrace back down to the golden pocket, right? So we look for the top of the data candle to be a fail point and come down to the golden pocket. So this is reason number two for the short, because this CPI candle had no tag of the golden pocket. And that is a very dangerous algorithm reversal, because when it popped up here and it lost the top of the CPI candle, she was coming all the way down. And then we point our fibs to the downside, and what did we hit? Exactly as we just talked about. Outside the fib box on CPI, breaks out of the 100, boom, right into the 1618. You can see the candle open close, close right on 510.78, which is the 1618 from the CPI. So it comes down to the 1618, dink, right back to the 100, and then it plays over under again, just like we said, right? So we use our oscillation indicators to make adjustments through the day. And what I told my team again is after 10:30:11, we'll most likely get an EU algo swap up here so we can get the higher low, higher high system to snap back up to the highs, right? Or in this case, the 666 is what I wanted to back test. Before I left my team here, I told everybody to come up to equal highs, take it long, because we got out of here at 10 with some more doctor stuff. Bam. So I said stick long here, because we're gonna go back up to the 200 SMA, and then of course after that 200 SMA tag, we called a beautiful one there. We had a intraday 1 minute gap. So you see me trade these live all the time. If you check the channel, the 1 minute gap had a break and then an insta fill. Today, now two different ones actually. So this bottom gap candle, and if you hear me talk about these algo systems, again, gapping on the 1 minute chart on an extension move. So if price action stuck up here, here, down, now we are downside extension. We are pulled away to that downside. A 1 minute gap appears. Magically, the algos swap trend. Okay. And now notice what way that goes. Same exact as our last two live trading examples explaining trading with algos. And then we move over to the 1 minute chart again. We have a monster gap right here. But what way is it going again? To the downside, right? So we gapped it, pushed up, higher high. So there's the long. We have a common gap to the downside here. Push, snap back right to that one. Another gap. Pushed, snap back right to that one. These algos just love the snap. We had a lot of common gaps, low volume at the day there, and a whole bunch of snapping. So our long was correct into 200 SMA of the scalp. Now, I wanted to see continuation back down a little bit to hopefully chase down that 10 SMA, but we needed to blast off the people here way back to the weekly top. But as long as we stay under that weekly 515, we're still on the way back down to a daily 10 SMA. So let's look at the daily and weekly chart here. And as we see this, again, just a perfect doji. On the daily chart, which is great because we're going to use this body for an over-under, and we're going to do the same thing on the NQ. But what we want to see is that 515 act as resistance, right? Here, stay into the weekly and move back down to 503.20 inevitably. And I think we're going to chase that 10 SMA down. Now, regardless of what happens here all around, doesn't really matter. It's when the confirmation starts underneath these all-time high candles and doji bodies. So what we're going to do to play this one over the night again, so if you watched our last recap video, and we told you exactly how to do this last time with the all-time high candle, we're going to do exactly the same. Anything at all, because we drew the body on that big one last time, that is over under this doji body that we put in yesterday, today, because it's 5 p.m., futures are open, so quote unquote, yesterday, today, is going to be that downside. So we are using this as a over under, okay? So right now, price action opened, lost it, because right here's yesterday's close, up. So if we do find resistance here, that's going to be the key to continue down our short move. Now, it's going to take a long time to consolidate that. CPI was in line. We got a little bit more data coming for the end of the week. So again, it might not be closer to the end of the week until we get this roll. But this is what we're going to look for. But for tomorrow's day trade, I really want to see confirmational bias down the doji body. So I want to see it come back up from lower low, lower high extensions to continue to push down, or I want to see it pop back up and utilize the body as support. Doesn't care. I don't care which way it goes because we are confirmational traders. So if something breaks down to the lower side, retraces, finds resistance, confirmation, right? That's the only time I take a short. I don't just short right here and hope for the best. I need to see pattern play. I need to see MACD and RSI help out for trend direction. Always confirmation. That's what limits our risk and allows us to trade these trades how we do. Now, last but not least, let's check out SPY real quick because SPY had a pretty interesting one. Now, we went over this again on some YouTubes, but the golden candle Fibonacci, this is our high-low for the daily, that gives us a 1618 extension over here, and we had that gap push from election day, then obviously double gapped up. So the all-time high, 600, big psychological number. Pre-market is, I think it's 601 or very close to for the all-time high, not live, just pre-market. So that 600 rejects, comes down and creates, oh, well, look at that, another perfect doji body. So we're going to mark this off, and we're going to utilize tomorrow's price action confirmation off of this guy on the doji body at highs. So you see us opening up right into that right now. We had a beautiful 1618 defense here at 596, and of course the CPI sold all the way back down, pressed back up to highs, which is fine. It doesn't confirm anything as far as trend bias direction goes, but what we're going to see here is the same. So again, the last YouTube video we did, we took the all-time high candles body, we said over under, and you can see it right here. We said short under 6,029, and we're going to start rolling all the way back down, sub 6,000, and then we want to get down to the golden pocket inevitably down here when it happens, right? So we're going to scooch again. Yesterday's close and half candle retrace is right here. So you can see that white dashed line to the orange. It's going to be that body, right? And now with that, we're going to use trend direction. So this was the first short, 6,029. That's the all-time high body. Very specific. So if we get back under this and start the trail back down with confirmation, great. Take it short. Again, confirmation buys come back up. If it wants to go highs, goes highs again. Get out of the way of the market, you know? So with that being said, the volatility index is the last kind of key to the puzzle here. And interestingly enough, we had mass deviation support we opened up into for many days here. This is the -1 daily and weekly, as you see in the yellow. Those deviations are massive for support. But we did lose a very pinnacle number, which is 15. Usually, generally, that 15 is that sweet spot above that volatility in the market, below that lazy market. So we did break that 15 and came back down to a gap that we had opened at 1386, 1384. And it magneted right down to the gap. So with that, you know, being so low on the volatility index, we'll have to see if the SPY wants to make that run, you know, back up because the VIX is low. So we're not going to trade after hours or through the night. We're going to wait for that confirmation, hopefully around 2, 3, 4 in the morning tomorrow. We see it come through, and that's that. So hopefully you enjoyed the recap. I'm going to post another video. We're going to go request our Apex payouts now, because we got our 8 days at 100% accuracy green. So we're going to go make another video, drop that, and we'll catch you on the next. If you want to trade with us live, which we do these breakdowns, we do these Discord calls and live Zoom share every single morning. Link is in the description if you want to join us. If you want to support the channel another way because you find a little bit of value here trading with us, TG33 at Apex Funded Trading. I'll get you 80% off, and I'd appreciate it very much. If so, sounds good. We'll see you in chat. If not, we'll see you on the next. Take care.